Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the 757 Renaissance Man podcast. Today I have another fellow 757 Renaissance Man with us. We will be speaking with DJ Ronnie Ron. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, thanks so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
I appreciate having you, and I reached out to you when I first started doing this. And you were more than gracious, and you pointed me in the right direction and helped me upgrade my game. So I have to thank you for that publicly.
Hey, man, no problem, man. I'm glad to help you out. Another fellow 757.
Yeah, man. So, we're kind of in the same vein of things where you also have a podcast and you have a couple of shows. Tell the people about your shows.
All right. Well, yeah. Again, thanks so much for having me on. I have several shows up under the umbrella of the Music Industry Networks, LLC. And one of the shows is called the Music Industry Makeover, where we come on Thursday nights talking about marketing and promotions, giving tips and bringing on industry professionals to help artists out there. As well as also I have another show called Critical Dialogue every Tuesday night where we talk about biblical perspectives. I mean, controversial issues through a biblical perspective. We get the crowd involved, viewers, and we sometimes have guests on as well too. And so, we just want to have conversations more than just sermonic presentations. All right, and then another one is sound sessions on RYC Praise, where I'm interviewing different artists and just letting the public know who's out there and what's going on, and music that people should be streaming and supporting. Another podcast is the 21st Century Entrepreneur, to where we want to highlight all those who are making it happen, who are entrepreneurs, male or female, that's doing some great things. Then another podcast is the 21st Century Authors, those who write books, and actually those who are the leaders of the 21st century. So, yeah, that's just to name a few, and I have a few more that's coming up, that's in the works, and yeah, I'm just grateful for this journey.
Yeah, man, you a busy man. I have a hard time juggling too. You doing it?
Yeah, hey, well, and that's also in conjunction with two radio shows that I do, Hip Hop Praise and Grown Folk Gospel. And yeah, it's just, if it's something that you're passionate about, it won't seem like work to you. And that's what I've learned.
Yeah. And okay, so I know another hat that you wear. You are also a DJ, and what I'm more familiar with you is you are the gospel DJ for the skating rink here in Newport News.
Yeah, yes. Me and my partner, DJ I Rock Jesus. Shout out to him. Go to straightministryheat.com or djirockjesus.com. Yeah, we do it every fourth Sunday in Newport News. And so, man, we've been having a great time. Folks have been asking about it. And it's just another way of exposing the music out there that may not necessarily get played on gospel radio. I mean, there's a lot of great music there. So, that's just another platform. But yeah, and I personally DJ, I do weddings and parties and things like that too.
So, okay, being that you do have your experience in radio, how do you feel about how gospel radio is today? I mean, in a way, we've come a long way, but then again, we haven't. I remember growing up and all you had was WPCE and it was only on AM.
Mm-hmm. Man, well, how I feel about radio today, it definitely needs to change. It's slowly doing that. Some are starting to embrace the new type of talent that's out there, but definitely the content, even though the content stays Christ-centered, because the gospel is about the good news of Jesus Christ, but there's other different styles instead of just the quartets and choirs and the praise and worship out there. And so I believe a lot of people are kind of are straying away from the gospel radio stations, except for the older crowd, the baby boomers who are just used to that routine of just turning on your radio. But now there's other outlets to where folks can listen to music. But gospel radio, I feel, needs to stay relevant in embracing the new content. I mean, I mean, I'm sorry, the new artistic expressions out there, spoken word, rap, urban gospel, all of that, in order to keep the listeners coming back to radio.
Yeah. All right. So anytime I get anybody radio related, I also
Mm-hmm.
ask this question. How do you feel about the move where more radio stations are going the syndicated role versus your local DJ? Because it used to be a time where you had your music, you could go down to the local radio station and have
Mm-hmm.
somebody listen to it and possibly put you on. But now with the mega broadcast centers, it's hard to actually just, get to a physical person. What is your take on that?
It definitely takes away from the personal feel of radio. For us, the main disadvantage of having syndication is that it doesn't have that um what's the word for us, that community environment, to where, all right, it's this is exclusively our DJ. He's speaking to us. You just have somebody that's generalizing, um, all around the country. But that's the main downside to syndication. Okay, and so corporate radio, people, these companies, these communications companies are buying up all these stations, and so they're putting their own programming on it, and that's where the content of that community environment suffers.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like you don't have anybody that relates to you on a personal level. Like,
Correct.
knows the difference between Churchland and Newport News.
Right. Exactly. Right. And we need that, which I feel, if churches really got behind it, if they put all these churches in these communities, put their monies together to have their own station, I believe that could help alleviate that.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good. So hold on, that you didn't open up a can of worms. I want to hear about that.
Yeah, with all the tithes and offerings that these churches collect, and so I mean, we could be owning our own gospel radio stations. I know some folks say that we can't do it because of budgets, money. I'm like, please, we can do anything that we put our minds to.
Mhm.
We just have to be intentional about coming together. There's no reason why we should not have our own radio and television communication stations, and also helping to employ those within the community. Other than that, it's just we just making excuses, and we really don't want change. And
And from if I'm not misunderstanding, I think Bishop Willis started WPCE back in the day.
yeah, that's and I'm not from here, but yes, I did hear that story, and he did a great work, and it's still going on, and we need more people like him. He has the right concept. He has the right concept, and all. So why aren't we doing that even more? I don't know. Maybe it's a different mindset with this type of black folks that we have today. I don't know. I'm thinking about like Black Wall Street back in the day. Why can't we duplicate that again?
All right, so to throw another fire on the flame, how do you think terrestrial radio is going to hold up with the internet stations?
I think terrestrial radio is at the bottom of the totem pole compared to internet radio stations because it has much of a broader reach,
Mhm.
and also there's more freedom on internet radio than it is terrestrial. That's why um, um, I'm I'm glad I am where I am. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting on terrestrial radio, and so because of the content. But the reality is the way that people are consuming music now. And again, technology has a big part to play in this. It's changing the game, and terrestrial radio. I think the best thing for them is to bring in quality content that's going to keep the listeners there,
Mm.
and then also get out in the community and build relationships.
Yeah, I think that's growing up as a kid, though. I used to look forward to the little radio remotes, and they'll be at different businesses and
Right,
locations. And I don't see that happening as much as it used to. And I think that's
right.
one way that radio is missing out on keeping themselves relevant.
Correct. Correct. I totally agree with you on that. Because again, it's all about building relationships. And so as I tell artists that's, trying to shop their music out, the music industry is about R&B, relationships and budgets. Okay. And so we have to support one another. But
Hold on, say
first,
that. Say that again. Say that again.
I said the music industry is about R&B, relationships and budgets.
Uh-huh.
Bottom line. And so if you want people to support you, they have to get to know you, build a relationship with you. So not just because you're singing the praises of Jesus and all right, it might sound good, but it's like, I don't really know you. But that's kind of like business too. KLT, know, like, and trust.
Right, right. And I can't even front. A big reason that I'm here now doing what I'm doing is because of the influences I had as a kid listening to the radio.
There you go. Right. Yeah. And that is so true. Yeah. Same here. And I never saw myself as a radio DJ. I was more of an introvert and, rather shy type. But then when folks hear me on, it's like, oh man, that's you. It's like a totally different person. But I feel comfortable. And then I'm starting to get more on the visual side with the podcasting and things like that. So, it's just, getting information out to the people and wanting to help others out there.
All right, so I'm gonna go down a different path now. As a DJ, what are you listening to now?
What I'm listening to, I'm listening to urban gospel. That's my first choice. Old school is my second choice. Jazz, and now are you talking about anybody
specific?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
sorry, I got to.
Yeah. Who? Who is on your playlist?
Definitely Sounds of Blackness. Yeah, I got that. Lecrae, my man Quiet Storm, Ron Stop. Again, a lot of independent artists. Jordan Armstrong. And that's Sean C. Johnson. Again, these are a lot of artists that are in the urban gospel field that, again, if you all don't know, you all definitely need to check them out. But yeah, I do listen to a lot of old school too every now and then, and I'll bring back memories of me growing up and things like that. So, yeah.
So do you dip your hands in a little bit of artist development?
A little bit. Because I see I'm in a teaching role as well, and so those that are willing to learn, yes, I'm definitely willing to help them along the way, but they have to want to help themselves.
Awesome. So I really appreciate you taking your time out. Full transparency, we did this before, but I messed it up, so we had to do it again. And now it seems like my phone won't start ringing, so other people are trying to sabotage us. But we're gonna get this one out.
That's right. Hey man, I feel honored to be on, man. Hey man, I appreciate you doing what you're doing, and yes, man, you're doing a great work.
So before I leave, I gotta ask you this. I always end my episode off with this question: if there was a young DJ Ronnie Ron and he came to you for advice, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to enjoy what you're doing, learn your craft, glean from all the advice that may come your way. Stay focused on your goal and your passion, and be careful not to be distracted by others that may have a good idea, but if it doesn't line up with your purpose, it's more of a distraction.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And how can all of the people out there get in touch with you?
You can find me on Linktree, DJ Ronnie Ron, Linktree, or you can go to straightministryheat.com. You can find me there, or you can just Google me, DJ Ronnie Ron. My social media on Instagram and others at Ronnie Ron 2K, RONNIE RON, and TikTok at DJ Ronnie Ron 2K.
Awesome. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, I
Go ahead.
forgot in my business, man. Because I do marketing and promotions and advertising. Musicindustrymakeover.com. Musicindustrymakeover.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1757's on. I am Sean. This is DJ Ronnie Ron. And by the way, instead of me having to tell you to go to Spotify, Apple Music, I can now say go to 757renaissanceman.com and you can find all the things. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking your time out today and listening to us. I am Sean. This is DJ Ronnie Ron, and we are out.
Bless you.